they admit they regret buying Bungie. I want to go through all this.
$3.6 billion down the drain, man. And you know what's funny? It's gotten to the point where Marathon is going to be multi-plat, and guess what? It's going to end up like Concord. That's why Microsoft said, you know what? Give those ponies Halo campaign evolve, Give them a Bungie game that's actually worth talking about. Don't give them that garbage. Ain't nobody want to play that even on the Xbox platform. I mean, we got another Concord coming up. So much for that exclusivity, huh?
Because I do find it interesting.
I thought Microsoft was the only company that ruined acquisitions. Apparently, Sony does the same exact thing.
The business is changing. There's been so much debate online about whether it is that Sony is actually keeping up, how Sony is staying so successful when they're releasing themselves so few first-party games. And
games still win another W. Look at that. Oh, but they sold 84 million, though. Even though the vast majority are shipped, it sold 84 million. But yet, ain't nobody want to talk about the actual software. So, according to your logic, that means that everybody that bought a PlayStation bought it, oh, that's right, for third party. Let's hear that again.
There's so much debate online about whether it is that Sony is actually keeping up, how Sony is staying so successful when they're releasing themselves so few first-party games.
Because they're making money off the subscription service. All those NBA 2K and all those players that play those games online, FIFA, you name it, that's where the vast majority of PlayStation money is coming from. I've told you guys all this already. How are you guys still surprised about this? I mean, you guys now want to all of a sudden admit that, oh yeah, I think gaming is changing ever since Sony came out and said that you don't need a PlayStation 5 for some apparent reason. Now y'all want to come out and say, well, gaming must be changing. Yeah, that's what Microsoft was trying to tell you, but yet y'all people weren't hearing anything.
And honestly, just the fact that it does seem like, in general, more and more people are going to PC gaming. It doesn't feel...
Games still win another W. Who told you that, man? I've seen articles of Capcom saying that they make way more money on PC than they do within consoles altogether. I've told you guys, this was a room for concern. So while you was out there fighting your console brethren, understand that during this time of the great console war, all you did was make PC a better platform to play on. And that's where everybody's going.
Like, console is exploding as fast as it did last gen.
Ha ha.
But let's break it down.
Told y'all this.
Hope you're having a great day.
How y'all still surprised?
Give this video a like. And this raw number to it. This is crazy. They said that PlayStation 5 has now shipped 84 million units worldwide.
Keyword, shipped. Not sold, shipped.
This is insane.
84 million shipped, not sold. PlayStation, look at that, man. They can't even, the funny thing is we know the PlayStation 5 has sold well, but I can guarantee you that the PS5 did not sell as well as Sony is alluding to. That's why they keep saying shipped. They don't say sold. At least when Nintendo comes out with the Switch 2 sales, they say we sold it. We didn't ship it. We sold the Switch 2. We're the fastest selling console out there as of right now. Do you see Nintendo say, oh, we got the fastest shipped console out on the market? I mean, come on, man, with these terms, bro. We already know the PS5 is selling well, but I can guarantee you that the PS5 is not selling as well as the PS4 did, regardless of how well it did initially.
This is technically now...
I told y'all, people are buying less games, accessories, bro. GameStops be empty. Have you noticed GameStops even closing? It's gotten to the point where they focus more on Pokemon cards than video games now. Like, what do you guys don't understand? People go to GameStop to grade cards now. They don't even go there to pick up video games anymore.
So really, technically today is like the 5th anniversary of the release of the PlayStation. Legitimately just combine everything that Microsoft has ever done in the hardware space. It's bigger than all of it. It's just wild. It's just wild that the PS5 is that freaking popular. But the other part of the reason...
With no games. And the funny thing is, the PS5 is so popular, but yet people are playing the same games on PS5 that they're playing on Xbox as well as PC. Nobody's picking up the platform for exclusives. Everybody's excited for Grand Theft Auto 6, which is also available on the dying Xbox. You know, I can't believe Microsoft made it this long with Sony dominating within the hardware capabilities. You know, I can't believe it. I thought Microsoft would have been dead for the 20,000th time, but yet for some reason we still talking about them.
I want to talk about this is that I have seen a lot of people talk about the fact that a lot of interest in console gaming has definitely shifted. A lot of people, especially younger people, they'll build a PC. They'd rather just have like a low-end PC that can slowly upgrade over time. Or a lot of kids are playing stuff on the Nintendo Switch or the Switch 2.
And on mobile.
And so there has been some analysis that essentially there is less and less new people entering the audience. A lot of people
told y'all
PlayStation 5s.
Games to one another devil. Who made a video telling you guys that people are buying less and less things in general? When I brought up the fact with Nintendo Switch 2, even though the hardware is selling well, but the software is at an all-time low, I've told y'all this. People are buying less games in general, and it has more to do with the free-to-plays and the third-party games. It is what it is, man. People don't care about this. That's why I don't know why you guys what are you guys console warring about? You heard what he said. I don't know how PlayStation 5 is so successful without very many first-party games, and you guys are bragging about that. We've gone to the point where Console Wars was about bragging about which games we had to going as far to brag about how much money a company's making. That is ridiculous. I've never heard people back in the days of the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo talking about, oh, look at that, Sega making more money than Nintendo because of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh yeah, we made more money with Contra 3 Alien Wars than you did with Contra Hard Corps. No, they talked about the quality of games that they were getting. Now, for some reason, you guys have become financial advisors of these companies. You guys don't care how bad these, because to be honest with you, all three of these platforms are trash. They're all trash. They're all trash. At the end of the day, nobody, you know what, let's break it down because we got them all three right here, all lined up for me. Y'all ready to get roasted? PS5 ain't got no first-party games. The vast majority of your games are going to PC. People play third-party. That's all people. Why we paying for online? Now you want to sit there and charge more for a streaming service like you Xbox, bro. Your service is far worse than them. But yet you got higher hardware sales. And Xbox, I'm looking at you right now. Bro, what games do you got? It don't even really matter anymore. Is this a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox? Because all the games are the same. Everything you've offered, Microsoft, remasters, remakes, really? You're really using those type of games to pad out your Game Pass catalog, also charging $30 for that. Come on, Xbox. You're far better than that. Come on, Xbox. But hey, I can't say the same game's trending on your platform or the same game's trending on PlayStation. So I don't know if I want to call you a PlayStation or even an Xbox. And Switch 2, don't get me started, man. Game key cards, Nintendo, are you really charging your audience just so they can talk to their friends online? Matter of fact, aren't you guys charging people for an accessory and locking the games to a paywall through your own subscription service? So even if I buy the Virtual Boy, I can't play the Virtual Boy games anymore because I'm going to need to pay for the subscription service. But remember the good old days when Nintendo had Virtual Console and you actually owned the games that you played? You know, and those cross-generation games, Nintendo, come on, man. I didn't pick up a Switch 2 to play the same Super Mario Party Jarumbo and all these updates and expansion games that you got going on. I pick up the Switch 2, new hardware with new games, and all you guys keep doing is throwing expansion packs to the audience. You know, you guys talk about how the Switch 2 is more powerful than the Switch 1, but yet we fail to see any games that show that, which is funny because only the third party has done that. At this point, you might as well call it a Switch Pro. This is what you guys asked for. You didn't get a Switch 2. You got a Switch Pro. You see how I roasted all three of these consoles? They're straight trash. Straight garbage. It is what it is, man. You guys can keep console on, game key cards and all that. You guys have nothing. This is why people are buying less games. I'm telling you as a gamer that probably buys more games than the average consumer, and I'm stopping buying video games like I used to. Even when I see good deals, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, I see a game on the sale for $2, and I just completely skip by it. Normally, back in the days, I would have picked it up. I don't even look at it no more because I already have enough games, and two, whatever they throwing out, honestly, is just not worth it in my opinion.
People in my age group, right? People in their 30s, right? But As PlayStation 5 celebrates its 5th anniversary, Sony has reported the console at 84 million units, putting virtually neck and neck with the PlayStation 4. Somebody measured this and
You
said
see that?
It's like
You see how the PS5, you see, when you guys say that the PS5 outsold the PS4, understand, look at that line right there. Look at that line. Nobody cares. That should be far beyond that. The PS4 and the PS5 are selling about the same.
3.2% difference, which, I mean, at this point, that is so measurably close. The only time we had any sort of thing, I think this was during the shortages of the PlayStation 5 that we were having there for a bit.
Oh, no, but you capping, though. You capping. You ready for this? I'm going to break it down. The PS4 did better than it. Oh! Sony lied to you. Look at the line. It says PS4 is with the dark blue, right? The dark blue line is over the PS5 one. Oh! 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 PlayStation 5 is doing worse even than the PS4. The PS5 did good. Look, just like I try to tell you Nintendo fanboys, it did good early on. Oh yeah, we know that. But the hype died out quick. Look, I'm not saying people still buying the PS5. But my point is look at that PS4 line. Look, that was at a time when gaming was not as popular or mainstream as it is now. And look at that PS4 line. Still outdoing it. You're like, damn, Gabe, so you catch everything. Look at that. That's the blue PS5. The light blue is underneath the dark blue line. So technically, the PS4 sold better in its lifetime than what the PS5 is doing. Gamester with another W. Told you people are buying less games. They're buying less accessories. Bro, nobody cares about gaming no more, man. And yeah, they got high hardware sales, but guess what? Most of it is third party. At least PlayStation 4 can say that we relied on our own games. Spider-Man was selling 23rd. God of War was selling 20. We didn't have to do no cross-generation games to push our platform. PS5 that's what they're doing.
Wow, though. It's just wild to see such a straight chart of millions of consoles sold. But here's the other thing. Ghost of Yotei is a major hit. All Bungie really does is Destiny. And lately, the numbers for Destiny have been apocalyptically bad. There have been, at times, this is not an exaggeration, there have been times where there is single-digit concurrent players on Destiny lately, on Steam specifically. Now, keep in mind two things. One, Destiny is free to play. It's legitimately, you can install Destiny 2 right now and start playing it. Absolutely $0 upfront cost. You got to pay for like the good stuff, like the expansions and stuff, but you can play it right now for free. And it's also cross-play. And even then, it seems like nobody is playing the game.
If nobody's playing Destiny 2, then they need to just cancel Marathon, man. Just cancel it, Sony. Just save yourself the money. Don't even come out with this game, man. Because like you said, Destiny is a household name. It was popular. This is probably one of Bungie's best work since Halo, right? And Destiny from PlayStation is already losing popularity. Already, even though it's multi-plat. So what makes you guys think that Marathon is going to be a success? Destiny 1 was very successful. Destiny 2, even though they're losing concurrent players, is still very much a successful game. Even if they decide to shut the service, they have already made their money. So it doesn't even really matter. I mean, it sucks for people that enjoy the game, but you get my point. My point is the fact that this is an established IP, and yet people are choosing less and less to play it. Gamester with another W. I told you guys, people don't care, man. Those nostalgia goggles are wearing off real quick.
I don't really blame them. At this point, it seems like it's pretty much abandonware. And they said this: Destiny 2 hasn't reached Sony's expectations following the Bungie acquisition, says CFO Lynn Tao. Regarding Destiny 2, partially due to the changes in the competitive environment, the level of...
I know what it is. It's Microsoft's fault. That's what it is. It's
sales and user engagement have not reached the expectations we had at the time of acquisition. While we continue to make improvements, we downwardly revised projections for the time being and recorded an impairment loss against a portion of the assets of Bungie.
Wow.
Now, in business speak, it sounds like the primary reason they bought Bungie wasn't just because, hey, we want a bigger staff. We want people with experience making shooters. We want to have this class. Like, the original reason they bought them is because they wanted the Bungie help on other live service games. There's big talks that obviously things like Concord, there's their new upcoming game, Fair Games and stuff. It sounds like they were like, all right, you guys have built
And now we got Marathon. I mean, it's done, bro. It's done. Sony don't got the type of software, man. And like I've said, when it comes down to everything being a PC, Sony's not going to be able to last. Nintendo, like I've told people, even if the Switch 2 is a failure, Nintendo will find its way through third party and mobile. Even with Xbox. If Xbox leaves the console business, their games will be able to live no matter where they go. We all know that. We all can agree with that. Xbox and Nintendo can do that. Now, can you say the same about PlayStation? You can't. You can't. Your games are rejected on PC. You're talking about making accounts. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. People want Nintendo and Xbox games, regardless of how much hardware you people sell. And after that Activision Blizzard King deal that went through for Microsoft, that's how Microsoft has secured their victory in the long run. Like I've said before, Microsoft's playing chess, y'all playing checkers. Oh, we took one piece, but you ain't worried about it because Microsoft coming for your king and you don't even see, oh, we took more pieces from Microsoft. We got more soldiers out there. And guess what? Microsoft's going to checkmate you the way you can't even move your king. That's what's going on here. And that's why PlayStation is putting their games on PC because Microsoft is not forcing you, but they're doing business decisions that Sony has to follow suit unless they're going to lose a huge market share out of video gaming. That's what's going on.
Live service game help us.
You have no games.
Talks about there's basically Bungie is the reason the Last of Us online game got canceled and stuff. It's that essentially.
Oh, so Bungie's the cause of this. Oh wow. Now we can't look forward to a game because Sony put all their money in it. It's like I'm starting to think that Microsoft sent Bungie to sabotage y'all. What is this, Saboteur? What's going on here, man?
To be the taste makers, and it seems like internally.
And you ponies was claiming that this was a victory, but it's okay. Give it until 2026 and you can play Halo Campaign Evolved, a real Bungie game. No multiplayer, but hey, it's a Bungie game, a game that they worked on, huh? Better than it's gonna outsell Marathon.
Externally,
embarrassing.
They're getting to a point where they just feel like these people are not pulling their weight. They're not doing enough work, or even there has been talks very publicly that they're talking about absorbing Bungie. Basically getting all the hardest working developers and just moving them to the other studios. And saying,
that's funny because when you said Microsoft did that, they were dead. But when PlayStation does that, everything's fine. Oh, everything's peachy. Everything's fine. You know, PlayStation, they deserve to get more accusations. It's so funny how you guys act like, because you got to understand, right? You guys act as if Microsoft is bad for gaming, but yet that's where the vast majority of your money goes to. You buy Activision games, you're giving that money straight to Microsoft. You guys keep acting like they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to make money, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. My point is that you guys act like PlayStation is in a better financial situation than when Microsoft's at $4 trillion. You guys are stupid. Microsoft, they can afford to make mistakes. PlayStation can't. That's why you can't get rid of Xbox, because they can afford to keep playing this game with you until Sony gets, in a chokehold, and now they can't get out.
Now you work at Insomniac. Now you work at Sucker Punch. And just
that's funny because didn't Microsoft do that with Tango Gameworks? And y'all said Microsoft was out here shutting down studios. So now they're going to allocate the talent to other places, and Bungie will be no longer. Wow. While Microsoft still has their acquisitions, and Sony's out there but PlayStation's not dead. Oh, okay.
Basically, gotcha. Keeping the brand, the idea of Bungie, and maybe keeping the Marathon team, if Marathon's a success, which I don't think it's going to be.
It won't.
It's just odd to see them sort of making such an expensive acquisition and having such loud buyer's remorse. But here's another headline that I think a lot of people are sort of discussing. These numbers came out at 3 a.m. my time, Texas time, and I'm recording this at 7 a.m. But immediately, even now, for tactics, all sorts of stuff. What was that?
Game still with another. The PS4 life cycle seems to be getting longer and longer, especially the PS4, which was launched in 2013, guys. Understand, 2013. It's been over a decade since then, but there are many active users enjoying the console. So from that perspective, we believe that the PS5 is only in the middle of the... This is crazy. Bro, where's the games, bro? This is crazy. 5 years, 6 years in, and the greatest thing that PlayStation ever gave us was Grand Theft Auto 6? This is ridiculous. And you guys say they're gaming. Where's Mr. Philly Cheesesteak at? Mr. Philly, where you at? Talking about this is the greatest generation of game. Get the hell out of here with that crap. Go back to watching Porter Rock's videos, you big dummy. It's the best generation of gaming. Well, he out here playing Halo on his PS5, 25-year-old game. Man, you guys are ridiculous, bro. Y'all know it, man. The console war is over, man. Nobody cares about this crap, man. Keep putting your hand near your face, man. Keep doing it. It's embarrassing.
Marvel vs. Capcom collection and stuff, that's released on the PlayStation 4. They don't even bother making a native PlayStation 5 version. You just buy it on the PlayStation 4. There are still millions, tens of millions of people almost every month that are playing on the PlayStation 4, even though PS5 is the console, right? So I think what she's saying here is that she just considers this, still technically considers it to be part of the PlayStation 4 lifecycle, even though PS5 is obviously the focus.
No, it's not. Because if PS5 was the focus, then games would be optimizing for the PS. Matter of fact, Grand Theft Auto still gets updates on the PS4 version of the game. What are you talking about? If PlayStation 5 was the focus, then God of War Ragnarok Horizon, it might be more of a focus now with PlayStation in regards to their own first-party output, but they were still dropping games. Those top-of-the-line exclusives that y'all were talking about were glorified, and I've called this out before anybody, were glorified PS4 games that y'all claiming at a 4K 60. Y'all you think we forget? Oh, God of War Ragnarok 4K 60 on the PS5 when it was a PS4 game. Miles Morales, PS4 game. Horizon Forbidden West, PS4 game. Days Gone, PS4 game. Until Dawn, PS4 game. That's all y'all playing in regards to first-party games is PS4 titles on your PS5 with performance options. And I've told you guys that this was even going to happen with the Switch 2. And you guys are like, oh, but why these companies ain't doing enough? Because they're making money, like what Miss Lin Tao said, because of the active users that are still playing the console, which is subscription. That's why they're still making money off people buying skins on the PS4 versions of these. I mean, damn, even 2K, NBA 2K still gets on the PS4. So like I said, what's changing? If the PS5 was the focal point, then even third party would have completely just threw away the PS4. They're not doing that. Most third party are developing games with the PS4 in mind. There's only a few case-by-case based games that are dropping solely on next gen or PS5. We're just starting to see that now. And companies are still throwing out PS4 games.
So from that perspective, we believe the PS5 is only in the middle of the journey. We're planning to expand it even further.
Oh, no, please.
I think what she's saying is that the PlayStation 6 is very much going to be like the way it's treating the PlayStation 4 right now. I think the PS6 and the PS5 are going to have a ton of crossover.
Gamester with another W. Who called it? Who called it? Throw me my flowers, man. Throw me my flowers right now. I called it. I told y'all PlayStation 6 ain't going to be nothing but another cross-generation, no different than a PS4 to the 5. I called it for the Switch 1 to Switch 2. You guys know I called this because you know why? And I'm going to tell you why that's going to be the case. Because of the ecosystem. There's still active users paying money to PlayStation to play those old Grand Theft Auto games online. That's why. They're not going to completely abandon. We live in a time frame where no company is going to abandon anything. Okay? It is what it is. The only time they're going to abandon it is when the PS4 is no longer making money for them.
A huge amount of cross-buy, stuff like that, right? And I also think she's subtly signaling about how there are the leaks and rumors about the PlayStation 6 handheld.
I mean, even Call of Duty's still dropping on PS4, bro. Call of Duty's still dropping on old gen.
Now, the PS6 handheld...
It wasn't even like that, man. I remember PS2 had their own little versions, Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, but then they had the next gen. I mean, let me see, Call of Duty... When did they really... I mean, they were still dropping them on old gen. I mean, even with the Wii. Yeah, they were doing it. Even Black Ops 1. I think with Black Ops 2, they stopped. Yeah, Black Ops 2, I think, is when Call of Duty stopped doing it. But yeah, they were dropping a lot of old games, even on the Wii. So it shows you that companies are willing to downgrade their products just so they can get the most money out of each and every platform.
all the leaks is that basically it's going to be able to play PlayStation 5 games and PlayStation 4 games natively. It will install on it, it'll play it, it doesn't need Wi-Fi, it doesn't stream, it is just a carried console with the power of a PlayStation 5. I think essentially what she's trying to say is that even as next gen begins, it'll still be the generation of the PlayStation 5. I think
embarrassing. That's crazy. And I've told y'all this. I've told her you're gonna get intergalactic on here, and then they're gonna optimize for a better version. I've told y'all this. This right here makes gamers be like, I'm done. This makes gamers want to just sit back and just be like, I'm done with this. No matter which platform you play on. We as gamers, the dinosaurs, I guess, because I am a part of that era, the prehistoric gamer, we're done with this. I'm sorry, man. I'm tired of reliving my childhood. As much as I have great memories of Halo and, all these great games, we're tired of this, bro. And we know why they're doing this, because they're going to cater to the casual. So as far as an old school retro gamer, go retro, man. And then play these things on the side, because at the end of the day, you will be far happier, because you're not going to get what you want, guys. You're going to be waiting 7 years just to pay, let's say, $1,000 for the PS6, just to play a better version of the same game you already have available on your PS5. This is pathetic, bro. From all spectrums, for all consoles, this is pathetic. No wonder gamers on PC, just go PC. Just go to PC. Just go to PC. Because if this is what we're doing, when the 360 came, I had its own software. When the PS3 came, I had its own software. Okay? Now we're going from where everything's just cross-gen now. Like, I can't.
This is her saying that. I don't think this is saying that it's going to come out in 2030. Some people are sort of reading this is that...
The problem is the fact that regardless if it comes out, Sony's still not going to abandon the hardware because of the ecosystem. That's why. They're still making money on the 4. And the funny thing is, you guys worry about the Xbox Series X sales, but even the Xbox One sales is still added to the Xbox Series X through the ecosystem. Regardless if you're paying for Game Pass on Xbox Series, people that still got it on that console as well. They're still getting monthly memberships off people playing on Xbox One. Man, you can even go back with a 360. Like, this is crazy.
If we're 5 years into this, maybe that means this is a 10-year life cycle. I don't think it's that. I do believe the leaks that Sony is planning to release the PlayStation 6 in 2027. I think he's essentially saying we're fully supporting all cross-gen stuff with the PlayStation 5 until 2030. It's a bit of a gamble. I will say that the idea of having a longer lifespan, especially in this economic climate, smart. Very.
Yeah, it's smart, but it does nothing for me, though. It does nothing for me. I'm sorry, guys. As much as I love the gaming community and I love gaming my whole life, this is not what I signed up for, man. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if this is what they did back then. When we talk about the golden age of gaming, we don't sit there and say, "Oh, I love Super Mario World on my 64." No, we moved on to bigger and greater things. Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all like, yeah, Games, you're right. You're absolutely right. We did not sit there and talk about, "Oh, I love my Final Fantasy 6 on this." We moved to Final Fantasy 7 and 8. I love my Final Fantasy 7 remastered for PS2. No, we moved on to Final Fantasy 10, my friend, with better graphics, even though it was some gameplay that was a little bit more linear. But all in all, it was something that couldn't be done on the PlayStation 1. Now, I got to get philosophical with this. See, gaming at one point was so remarkable. When you picked up a new piece of hardware, you got new games. Now, when you buy hardware, everything's the same. Intergalactic here, intergalactic there. Now you're just paying for performance updates. I mean, man, we might as well call this Gamester Springer word of the day, because it's embarrassing the way they're treating these consoles, man. I remember there was a time when we picked up a PS3 and the game was, should I say, exclusivity. We weren't worrying about a port from the PS2 because we had our own version of a game that was on our platform of choice too. See, this is the problem with gaming. Everything want to be the same. It's copied the philosophy of a phone. It's either you got an iPhone 13 or you got an iPhone 14. That's what we're doing with better textures. One has a better camera, But in all honesty, they're all the same. That is what gaming has become. Your gaming console has become nothing. I can't even call it a platform, but a mobile phone. You guys say that we don't like PC because of upgrades, but that's exactly what you're doing with these consoles, man. I'm done. I'm done.
Very, very smart. I just think it's interesting how many people are still, right now, hardcore gamers, specifically on the PlayStation 4. Now, overall,
PlayStation 4
all
is
this sales
crazy.
data far out in the head is now has become the default console. You can't go buy an Xbox, or if you do, you're basically screwing yourself. You might as well save up and get a PlayStation 5 because it'll play all the Xbox games better and have.
It doesn't play all the Xbox games. Like I said, you're getting Halo campaign involved. You're not getting no multiplayer. You don't have all the Gears of Wars right now. There's still a lot of games. You don't have every backwards compatible game that Microsoft has, let alone with any enhancements. What are you talking about? You don't have dev mode. But there's a lot of things that the Xbox has. You don't even have quick resume, for crying out loud. What are you talking about? Oh, nobody needs an Xbox. We have all. You don't have every single Xbox game. You don't. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying games ain't coming over. I'm just saying as of right now, as of me speaking, there's not every single Xbox game on PlayStation 5. Y'all know that.
The 2 PlayStation exclusives we get a decade. How do you feel about that?
Wow, 2, even he said it. 2 PlayStation exclusives, you get a decade. Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. And y'all saying this is how y'all win in the war? Well, this ain't no war to me, because I'm going to tell you something right now. When you see that woman right there, I dropped my sword. I'm done. This ain't worth fighting for, people. You guys are 50, 60 years old, fighting about what? By the time these games come out, you're going to be in a rocking chair. You ain't even going to be able to move no more. You're going to be complaining like, poor Roy, I got migraines. That's why I'm doing 8-hour podcast, because I can't focus on the game no more because I'm too old. Man, I'm done, man. As far as I say right now, the true essence of what gaming represented is dead. It's long gone. It's dead. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're a dinosaur gamer or a prehistoric gamer, it's done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, it's very disappointing. But understand that you guys are buying nothing but performance boxes. That's what you're picking up. Peace out.